Here we go, lads. It's Monaco. You guys know when you see this video pop up in your sub feeds, you know it's going to be a good episode. Leave a like if you're excited for this one, but let's get into the Monaco Grand Prix.
Today we arrive in the Principality of Monaco, which is definitely a fan and driver favourite. Having talked to the drivers, all of them point to this circuit being the one they most want to win at. Monaco provides a close quarters wheel-to-wheel challenge for the drivers, and even though it lacks overtaking opportunities, it does give us the glitz and the glamour that can only be provided by a location like Monte Carlo.
Monaco is the most prestigious track on the Formula One calendar. It's a circuit that's extremely popular amongst the fans around the world, and it's something really special. As a driver, there's nowhere to hide. Lowe's hairpin is the slowest corner of any track on the Formula One calendar. It's taken at just 48 kilometers an hour, but provides a stunning view on the first lap as the entire grid bunches up and tiptoes through the corner, hoping not to leave any carbon fibre parts behind. This is such a tight bend that a special steering rack is used just to get around this very corner, as the cars would not normally be able to make the turn. There is the possibility of overtaking through Lowe's, but more often than not, you'll end up damaging your car.
So here we go, lads. This is Friday practice of Monaco. Just doing a sort of long run on the prime tyres, trying to get a feel for the car. Obviously, you're not going to get a feel for the car if you go up the escape road like that. But yeah, just early on trying to find my limits, building my confidence, I suppose. And early on in the session, I actually wasn't happy with the setup. I wasn't really comfortable with the high-speed responsiveness of the car. So I moved the front and rear toe settings all the way to the right to give it a little bit more a sharpness at high speed, shall we say. But as the session went on, I built my confidence. I got more of a feel for the car and what it was capable of, and then at the end of the session I bolted on a set of option tyres to essentially do a qualifying run to see what the benchmark would be heading into quali, because this race, as you guys know, it's all about qualifying, and you want to set up your car purely just to go fast over one lap, because track position is absolutely everything. Coming up to the line though, in our option run, we end up with a 1:16.6. Not too bad. 1.3 seconds clear of Lewis Hamilton.
Practice times are not always indicative of qualifying or race day performance, but Nico Rosberg's P1 time is impressive, and I think he'll be right up there when he's back on the track tomorrow. It's qualifying here at the resplendent Monte Carlo, Monaco, for what is always a special event for both drivers and teams. Qualifying will determine who'll sit on pole at this iconic track. These next few minutes could determine tomorrow's race result as well before it even starts. The driver on pole will be best placed to win the race, considering how difficult it is to overtake here.
Exactly. To be in with a decent chance of winning here, you need to be on the front row. Even a few places further back on the grid, and you've got to rely on a bit of good luck to come your way, as overtaking opportunities are very limited.
So jumping straight into qualifying here, and you can see immediately on our first run we're getting held up by Nico Rosberg, who in fact just came out of the pit lane as I came to start my lap. So very, very frustrating start to qualifying here. I just couldn't get around him. His Mercedes car was too quick in all the right areas, so he was pretty determined not to lose track position to me either. As he now starts his lap, we come to the end of ours. It's going to be a 1:16.6, essentially matching what we did in practice, even though we had dirty air right throughout the track. It was a very impressive showing there, but we have a long way to go in terms of lap time improvement. I at least want to get in the 15s to get myself at least on the front row of the grid, because I don't want to be doing too many overtakes in the race. That'd just be pretty terrible to do, because you don't want to get caught up behind someone else. You know, there's always the possibility for incidents, crashes, overheating the tyres, brakes, all that kind of thing. I feel like that might be more of a factor this year. But coming through the final two corners, we actually made a little bit of contact in the third sector there, so that slowed us down a little bit. Still not the perfect lap, but it is a 15.9. Fastest car on the grid. That is exactly where I want to be, but I still feel like we have more time to find in this session. 1 minute to go, final lap, just maximum attack on this lap. This is what I absolutely love, just trying to go for an all-out blast at the end of the session. This is what Monaco is all about, really, but going over the top of the hill, third gear, trying to get it left. The car feels like it's a bit understeery at high speed, so that was something I really couldn't get a handle on. So that was a little bit annoying, but the car through low speed corners was actually really nice, and that's why I was so quick through the third sector. The first sector wasn't my best, but middle sector losing a bit of time too, but the third sector is literally my sector. We're like 3 or 4 tenths faster than the AI every single time. I mean, look at all the apexes where, well, I sort of cut the corner there, but coming to Raskas, first gear, the car wants to slide with the back end. Just try and put on the power as early as you can. We've missed the apex of the final corner by a mile, oversteer, but coming up to the line, will we improve? Yes, we do. Almost 5 tenths. We have absolutely smashed the field today.
And it's Valtteri Bottas on pole for tomorrow's race. After a blistering lap time saw him top the timesheets. The team will be hoping now for more of the same tomorrow.
Well, he's got to be pleased with that. He's worked hard for it and deserves the result. He'll now turn his sights to tomorrow for what should be a very exciting race.
So there we go, chaps. P1 for the Monaco Grand Prix. We're in the box seat to win the race tomorrow. I don't know what else to say, but let's go to the grid.
Monaco, the race that every driver wants to win. And today is that chance for one of the current crop of Formula One drivers. I'm sure many of them were dreaming of standing on the podium, receiving the winner's trophy last night. But who will make it a reality today? The fans were ecstatic yesterday as Valtteri Bottas and Williams clinched pole position with a stunning last lap drive in Q3.
When we spoke to him earlier, he felt that this was a great opportunity to go on and win, but he knows he still has plenty of work to do. Anything can happen in the race, so you have to keep your feet on the ground until you take the checkered flag.
Lewis Hamilton described the win last time out as one of the best of his career. With the strength of that Mercedes this season, he has the perfect tool at his disposal to get more race wins.
Well, we all know how good Lewis can be when his mind is in the right place. He can be really hard on himself though when things don't go his way, but when they do, he's pretty much unbeatable.
So here we are on the grid of the Monaco Grand Prix, just having a look at the race strategy here real quick. It's a one-stop, stopping on lap 18 or 19 for primes. Now, I gotta say, I don't think I've said this before, but I'm running with 11.3 wings. The oversteer is pretty real in this car. We're gonna have to manage that because over one lap it's fine, but when you're trying to manage that over the course of the race, that could be pretty tricky. So we'll need to look after our rear tyres very well to get to the end of this race. 5 red lights. And away we go for the Monaco Grand Prix. We really need a good start. It doesn't look like we've delivered though. Hamilton takes the lead into turn 1. Rosberg follows through in 3rd place as he's battling with Raikkonen there side by side. Those two go as we go up the hill for the very first time. Hamilton leads, as I said, by, I don't know, it's literally nothing. We're trying to chase him down. We need to get him quickly though, because I'm not too sure how our tyre wear is going to be, as I said, with the oversteering problem. So we'll need to look after our fuel as well. That'll all come naturally after the tyre wear comes in. But early on, I just want to burn as much fuel as I can, try and get that track position back and just not worry for the rest of the race about trying to chase anyone down. But lap 3, Hamilton still has the lead. Only just though as we follow him through Raskas. He's literally right in front of us. We're all over his rear bumper. As I said before, we are really good through the third sector. But the first and middle sector lets us down a little bit, so we can't exactly make any kind of moves stick yet because we just don't have the right speed or the best speed in the right areas, so to speak. We're sort of weak at coming out of the final corner, and then going up the hill in the first sector is also a bit of a weak point for us. So I think our best opportunity is probably going into Raskas up the inside there, but that is a very risky move, as many have seen in the past in F1. Now, lap 9, you can see we make contact there with Hamilton ever so slightly, but he's slowly falling into our clutches more. I think tyre wear is actually affecting him more than what it's affecting me, just like we saw in Spain. But I'm just waiting here patiently for Hamilton to really start burning his tyres. He locks up the front tyres there, coming into the final chicane, and now he's going... I can't believe this. We actually had to give him a hurry up there because he's going so slowly. It's just, it's hard to convey just how much he's holding me up because obviously I'm not getting in front of him. I just don't have that straight line speed to sail past him. But trust me when I say this, if we had clean air, we'd be, I don't know, 5 seconds up the road already, at least, or something like that. But now Hamilton going slowly, we put it up into fast and go up the inside into the casino section. We have now taken the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix. I timed my moment perfectly because Hamilton just went into fuel saving mode, as we can see on the replay here. We go up the inside right at the last minute. He leaves just enough room and we take the lead. That is exactly what we needed. And now for the rest of the stint, we can look after the tyres, save fuel a little bit, and just etch out that lead ever so slightly without taking too many risks. So lap 19 now, we're coming in for our first and only stop of this race, providing we don't lose our front wing or anything in the future, fingers crossed. Pit stop now, it's 2.3 seconds, so not too bad. Hamilton came in on the previous lap for the undercut, so essentially I'm going to have fresher tyres for the rest of the race, and I shouldn't really need to worry about tyre wear for the rest of this race. We've already done half the race on the set of super softs, so the primes, they should easily get to the end now without too many troubles. But in terms of the oversteer, it actually wasn't too much of an issue, apart from going through this sort of section here when we went over the bump. But Hamilton, he had to make an extra pit stop as he negotiated, I think it was Carlos Sainz, who we got past a few laps ago. Now lap 31, we're trying to get around Marcus Ericsson. He leaves us enough space to go around the outside of the tunnel. Not the best spot to let a leader go through. That could have been pretty risky there, but anyway, we're just circling along. Rosberg is now 14 seconds behind, or 18 seconds now as we see the updated split. We go around the outside of Sergio Perez there, and that was pretty much the race. We just had too much pace for the AI to stay with us. We pushed Hamilton really hard at the early phase of the race, and now final couple of corners we're catching up to some of the midfield runners, including Grosjean, Jenson Button, Fernando Alonso, and a couple of Force Indias. So final corner, and it looks like these back markers won't get out of the way for us, but it doesn't matter too much. Valtteri Bottas is now a race winner in Formula 1.
Well done to Valtteri Bottas, who's won today's race. Congratulations to him and the Williams team for a fantastic performance.
Indeed, they'll be ecstatic with that result, and they should be. It was a fantastic drive.
After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
There we go, lads. The Monaco Grand Prix. We've won it. We can always count on this race to deliver us some good results. Felipe Massa came home in P5. Rosberg P2, and I think Ricciardo got on the podium as well. Carlos Sainz, 15 laps down. He got stuck in the pit lane. I saw on the replay camera his car was just frozen, and his pit crew were just looking at him for ages. So that's a very, very unlucky thing to happen. Good thing it didn't happen to me, though. Otherwise, I would have been raging to lose the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix. But in terms of the standings, we now move up into P3, 1 point clear of Sebastian Vettel. I have a feeling that this is going to be a massive rivalry between us and the Ferraris for the rest of this season. Leave a like if you enjoyed this episode, and if you want to see more episodes very soon, then let me know down in the comments. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe to see all these F1 2015 videos every single day. But that's going to do this video for today. Until my next one, guys, I'll see you next time.
I've got a question, if you'd hear me out. In your defense, you never had a chance. And so tell me straight, I won't go. This is our time now, I'm sure. Make no mistake, that we are closer than we're far. And break